Yeah, that's the 135 miles to Arrowhead. Arrowhead Ultra. If you're interested, go to Arrowhead Ultra, and the racers have trackers, so you can track them down the course.
Oh, cool.
So it's a lot of fun.
Your sister lives up there?
Yeah, she lives up there. My brother-in-law's a race director. Yeah, he got me into this, and then he took over. He did it for about 10 years, 15 years, and then he took over the race.
Campbellsville,
I'm
Kentucky.
gonna say that's spam.
Kind of
I'm gonna say that. Campbellsville.
it's a big turnover.
You know a lot of people down there, do you?
No.
They live on the
Picking this up to turn on.
I
there used to be
enjoy
one on each side
do you have
of
the new
river, which is
feature
the border,
for iOS
and
whatever
one on
17
Canada.
where
It goes
it'll
along
screen the
Canada,
calls?
Yes.
and
It's
they
so
can't
nice
get
because
it
it kills
so
all
nice.
of those.
Yes.
Well, and for our office phone,
Yeah.
if you ever call our office phone, the reason it says
Oh, yeah,
if
you
you'd
still
like
got
to speak
that
somebody
line.
press one, if you'd like to leave a
That's the
voicemail,
Rainy
press
River.
two.
Yeah.
Because it's a way to screen
Yeah,
out all
when
the
Ken
calls.
moved up there, he said,
Oh.
Perfect.
Because they don't
there's a
press
dam.
one or
Yeah,
two.
you go over the
Right.
dam.
So,
And it
you know,
backs
it was
up the
like,
lake.
we
And
kept
he
getting
said
these
that
like
used to
Google
be called the Dead Sea.
like
We went up there
spam calls.
Yeah.
It's like,
years
how do
ago,
I take them
fished in
stop?
August, and we limited
Yeah.
it 3 days.
Because what would happen is like
It was
he'd be back
fun.
in my office
I've never
talking
done
to
that.
me, and then
He's
he's
like,
like,
you put us on the
run up
fish
front
and-
and be like, oh,
You to get up to international.
I'm like, this has to stop, and you can't.
9 hours.
Nine
9
It's
hours.
different
if I
numbers
go up
every
3 days,
time.
about
It's
10.
like, oh,
I go every 2
to
hours.
have
and
a
stop.
call screening thing where you press
And we,
one and it does
when
it.
Wendy's going, my wife,
It works.
That work, yeah.
Fall Rice Lake, we
Sense.
stopped. for
And
lunch.
occasionally
Actually, we got a
we'll
spot
just like
in
press two and leave a
Tech
message
that
when they
was,
just have a
I
quick,
would say Chautauqua, you know.
Yeah.
you know.
Bloomer. Yeah, the old Bloomer Hotel, there's a restaurant bar on the bottom, or bar, and they got good bar
I
food.
remember driving up there, we were younger. Neither of them are there. We'd stop once.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was cold out today. It was really cold out
you
today.
were way up there then.
By like past like Lake Woods.
Yeah. Oh, Lake Woods,
we go.
you actually went northwest then.
Sure.
Yeah, that's another hour and a half.
Then we went past that.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's Monday, January 19th. We've got 3 committee meetings tonight and our normally scheduled common council meeting at 6:30. Just wanted to bring something to your attention as we posted these meetings. 2 of the committee meetings, the Finance Committee and the Board of Public Works. Well, let me back up. All 4 of these meetings were posted sometime last week, like Tuesday or Wednesday. But those 2, the Finance Committee and the Board of Public Works, was posted for today at 6:25 a.m. An honest mistake, a fair mistake that I've probably made 100 times when I'm scheduling a meeting instead of selecting PM. Those 2 were posted at AM. As you pulled up and looked at these, at the meeting calendar, it looked normal to me because you just probably wouldn't have noticed the AM versus the PM. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. We talked to Ian about it. These are committee meetings. We are able to still have those meetings, but what's pulled out of committee, if there is anything advanced from the committee meetings onto the common council tonight, we're not going to do those in consent agenda. We'll make them action items and offer, further discussion and things like that. So any questions about that? On those 2, it was an honest mistake on posting an AM versus PM. I'm pretty darn confident there was nobody standing out in front of City Hall at 6:25 a.m. looking to come to a meeting, but no, you weren't. Did I say that okay, Ian?
Yes, because the committee meetings are just recommendations and everything was posted for consideration at 6:30 tonight, notice was still given.
Okay. All right. I would like to call to order a meeting of the Licensing Board. It is, like I said, Monday, January 19th. We've got Alderman Butchlick and Alderman Zingsheim and myself here. Our first item of business is the Licensing Board regular meeting minutes from December 15th, 2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That carries. And our own single item for consideration tonight is a notice, and it's a Class B combo license availability notice. Clerk, anything you want to add on that tonight?
Sure, just that it's coming from an availability from the Omicron. They closed, I'm not sure exactly which date, back in 2025, but they brought us the license, they surrendered it on December 30th, so we just wanted to make the licensing board and the common council aware of that availability in the Class B combo license. So we will be publishing that for in the paper, and then we will wait 30 days for those applications.
Great. Thank you. Any questions on that? All right, seeing none, we will adjourn our licensing board meeting. I don't think we need a vote on that, right?
We
That's
do
just
not,
a,
correct.
yeah. All right, we are adjourned. Thanks.
Good evening. I would like to call the order of the Board of Public Works. We have 3 items on the agenda. Item number 1, approval of the minutes from December 15, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Berquist and Alderman Schmidt. Is there any corrections, deletions? There are none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 2, award contract for Fire Station 1, bid package 8, landscaping. Good evening, Chief.
Is he on?
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, I'm on. All right, first and foremost, first up, I have award of bid package number 8, a request to approve a contract. The first paragraph of my memo just summarized it. We, C.D. Smith, as our construction manager, placed notice and took all the bids for multiple different bid packages for the construction of Fire Station 1. We opened all those at one time, listed them all out with the intent of awarding the lowest bidder for all the bid packages. We noted that there was 2 particular bid packages, number 8 and number 10 are before you tonight, that were comprised from companies that use non-unionized labor. Therefore, they can't contract with C.D. Smith directly, and those contracts have to be held with the city directly. So tonight, we're bringing those 2 contracts forward for your approval. Bid package number 8 is for landscaping. I think we had 6 different or 5 or 6 different bidders for the landscaping package. Again, the lowest bid came in at $90,086. After the bids were in, C.D. Smith did a review of the project and determined that we probably needed another 2 inches of topsoil. So they asked for them to add that to their bid, which accounts for the additional around $10,000 to make the total of $100,086 to Property Solutions Contracting Corporation for the landscaping.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Stewart and Alderman Sparks? Oh, Alderman Seitz, Alderwoman Seitzer. Are there any questions for Chief? There are none?
I've just got one.
yes, go ahead.
Just real quick, this does fall in line with the budget for the project. This is within the scope and scale of everything.
Correct. It's actually, it's at least in line with the budget. Some of these things came in under. I didn't have that information with me tonight, which items fell under. I believe the landscaping package may have been one that came in under budget.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, award contract for Fire Station number 1, bid package 10, site concrete and rigid pavement. Chief?
Thanks again. And again, bid package number 10 is for site concrete and rigid pavement. Similar situation with bid package number 8 is they're a non-union company and have to contract with us directly. Again, we opened up all the bids. Looking for the name here. Cardinal Concrete came in with the lowest bid. C.D. Smith feels that they're capable of doing the work, so we would like to award the contract to Cardinal Concrete. There was a discrepancy in this between the bid package and the final scope here, and that had to do with the addition of dollars to add the concrete for the cold storage building that's part of the project. That's originally contained in budget dollars for owner-supplied equipment or owner-supplied materials, and that would have been soft cost. We're just moving that to the construction contract for the site concrete.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Stewart?
Second.
And who was second? I didn't. Alderman Sparks, okay. Are there any questions for Chief on this one?
The same question holds true here. Is this at least in line with what we're looking at from an overall budget standpoint as a part of the overall scope of the project?
It is.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Any other questions? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very, very much, Chief.
Thank you.
Being no further business before the Board of Public Works, I adjourn as chair.
I call the order a meeting of the Finance Committee. We have 3 agenda items this evening. The first is the approval of our minutes from our regular meeting, December 15th, 2025.
Motion approved.
Thank you, Alderman Schmidt.
Second.
And Alderman Sizer. Any comments, questions, additions, deletions? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Our second item is authorizing the acceptance and appropriation of Wisconsin Ground Emergency Medical Transportation, Wisconsin GEMT reimbursement funds for the fiscal year 2024. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you again. Before you have a resolution to accept the WIGEMT money for fiscal year 2024 and appropriate into the appropriate funds for the fire department. You might remember a similar motion a couple months ago. This is a new program from Medicaid that helps to backstop some of the gap between what they pay for ambulance transports and what it actually costs services to provide that ambulance transport. This is the second year of funding for the program, so we got money for 23 that we accepted a couple months ago. This is the money for fiscal year 2024. For fiscal year 2025, that's been identified and covered under our line item in our budget, and we don't expect to have a similar motion in the future. This motion today is asking to accept $106,728.92 in Wisconsin ground emergency medical transport revenue, and we would like to appropriate $40,000 of that to the expense account for equipment maintenance, to purchase additional equipment that's needed for our new engine we receive in spring of '26, and the remaining $66,728.92 to the fire department outlay account, which will help us fund the remaining equipment and installation necessary to upgrade Station 2 with the G2 dispatch system for the fire department.
I'll entertain a motion. Thank you, Alderman Sparks.
Second.
And Alderman Zingsheim. Any questions for Chief? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Our third item is a Fire Administration EMS incentive policy. Chief?
Okay, thank you. So this policy we're looking to change in the fire department, and I'm asking to approve this policy change, is to extend a current program we already use for EMS incentives. Currently, we hire firefighters as firefighters in EMT basics, and then we provide them with an incentive to have a higher level of medical certification. It's 2.5% for an advanced EMT and 5% for a paramedic. Now, they receive that incentive until they reach the rank of battalion chief, in which case that 5% is taken away when they step in the battalion chief rank. For operational purposes, we would like to extend that incentive through all ranks of the department. And that way it would give us additional people to maintain those paramedic licenses, which would maintain their ability to function, not in normal staffing situations, but at time of peak volume or simultaneous incidents where we're otherwise short of personnel. We would maintain that many extra paramedic level certified people to press into action. My proposal here is to extend those incentives, but for those in ranks above the rank of battalion chief, we would reduce that incentive basically in half. It would be a 1.25% incentive for an advanced EMT and 2.5% for a paramedic licensure. In exchange for that incentive, anyone that volunteers to participate in this program would be required to pass an annual protocol evaluation, biannual skills evaluations, and maintain enough time on an ambulance to maintain competency.
Thank you, Chief. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Sparks and Alderman Butchlick. Any questions for Chief Noren?
What do you think the level of participation is going to be in this? How many people take advantage of this?
I would expect all of us.
Are you encouraging that?
I'm absolutely encouraging it. I think that beyond the serviceability of having extra people to press in, and this has happened several times in the last couple months where we've run out of people and we could use those extra personnel instead of having to wait for calling people. We could get an ambulance or intercept vehicle out the door faster. So, yeah, I do encourage it. I also think that It's really applicable because all of our command staff supervise paramedic level staff, and I think it lends to credibility when you're enforcing rules, protocols, procedures, that you're also competent in those procedures as well.
So anybody that's eligible for this, putting it all together, how much more would that be? How much more of a cost?
I didn't bring that number. I'd hate to shoot from the hip on it.
That being said, we do have it built into the 26 budget. This was a discussion. Chief Norrin pulled me aside right away when I came on board to really start getting me up to speed on it, and a couple of things came to the forefront during the course of our discussions. Number one, I was actually kind of hard on Chief about, are you just trying to solve a compression issue here between the non-command staff members and your command staff? And that isn't what this is about. What this is about is, as Chief mentioned, incentivizing folks to maintain that paramedic level licensure at the command staff level to serve as extra hands as needed, but also encourage growth of folks into those command staff roles, because there has been some hesitancy in the past regarding applying for promotions because they knew they would lose that incentive, that paramedic incentive, once they became a command staff member. So this actually is serving a couple of different roles. Most importantly, though, it is about having the ability to, when it really becomes dire, when there are a lot of calls at the same time, we have as many hands on deck as possible at the paramedic level. This isn't about backfilling day-to-day operations. We have staff for that for sure. But so that being said, though, I did not bring the hard and fast numbers with me either, but I can say very assuredly to the council, this is included within the 26 budget, and it is very affordable.
Alderman
I've-
Sparks.
I've got some experience with this, I think, and we did not get that when I was on. And I'll tell you, it's a pain to maintain your certifications at a command level. And the extra incentive to do it would be nice, would have been nice. It should have been done years ago.
That is
questions?
a good point on the certification levels. It's a timely issue, if you will, as well, because all paramedics in the state of Wisconsin are scheduled to recertify this summer in June. So that's about the time that those folks will be making a decision whether or not to continue down that road or not.
Alderman Berquist.
Chief, part of the cost of recertifying and training and all that stuff, that's an additional cost that the department picks up, correct?
We provide the training in-house, it's just getting the hours you need. There's a small cost for certification fees for the National Registry of the state of Wisconsin,
Okay.
but we do pick up those.
Okay, thank you.
So that training is part of the, budget?
Correct, yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you got 3 people in there, 5 people in there, you're covering them, right, with our own staff who's certified to train?
That's correct. We use a couple different platforms for training. There is some computer-based training that's available that we pay for everybody to have access to those. And then it's also part of our training officers' annual training schedule to make sure that these things are being checked off and we cover them within their certification periods.
Alderman Sparks.
This is your command staff that's eligible for this, which is 5 guys, 6 guys,
It's 7 now.
7 now? Okay. You've changed it a little bit, but I understand. The other thing is, they have this certification anyways, don't they? I mean, they have to have it to be on a department.
They have to be at least an EMT. They do
EMT.
not have to maintain an advanced EMT or paramedic.
Oh, it's not, okay, just basic EMT? All right.
Correct. Some of that's the issues we run in with recruiting. There was a long time where our past practice was to only recruit paramedics. But like most fire departments in Wisconsin, we found that was very difficult, that it was hard to get paramedics. So we started hiring those with EMTB, which was what the contract allowed for salary anyway. And with that, we're able to bring some folks on board and then train them after the fact. Which, to be honest with you, is aligned and with a lot of industry thought that focuses on hiring the right people and get the certifications later sometimes.
Any additional questions? Chief Norton, I appreciate you bringing this proposal to the council. Finding a way to ensure that we've got the level of training and certification necessary to be able to serve our community, which is first and foremost. But second of all, doing it within the confines of our 26 budget. So I applaud you for that. If there's Sorry,
Yeah,
one
I'll
more
reiterate
question.
that.
Bill,
And
right, go right
I
ahead.
also think that it's appropriate, because you're not gonna be doing this as your primary tasks, right? To reduce that bonus.
Yeah, that's a good point, and it got brought up in our deliberations when we talked about it as a city administrative staff. This isn't to take the battalion chief out of that role while he's on duty. This is, for instance, if I've got some things that can be pushed aside for a while, and take an ambulance with Chief Forrester there, and we have to take a call because we're 4 or 5 ambulances deep. That's what it's above and beyond. It also increases the amount of people that we can potentially get involved on group calls. Obviously, as time's gone on, our residency requirement has relaxed a little bit from what it had 20 years ago. When we page people in, sometimes those people are coming from exceedingly far away now. So it does increase the amount of people we can page back in emergencies. And like I said, this is a natural progression of this kind of regional system-wide EMS that we've been kind of growing into. As we engage with Kewaskum and that Kewaskum ambulance service area, we obviously take more calls, and we've reduced one available ambulance for mutual aid. So we have to make sure that we're always planning for, here's normal operations, here's Plan B when that gets overrun, here's Plan C when that gets overrun. So this is very much a resiliency for our EMS system.
Any other questions? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Chief. With no further business before the Finance Committee, I adjourn as chair.
Good evening again. It is Monday, January 19th, 2026, and this is a meeting of the Common Council of the City of West Bend. More than 24 hours in advance of tonight's meeting, notice of the time, place, date, and subject matter of the meeting was posted in accordance to Wisconsin state statutes. Clerk, can you confirm this meeting was properly posted?
That's correct.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Our first item of business is our Common Council regular meeting minutes from January 5th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick and Alderwoman Sizer. Any comments, questions, corrections? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Items 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're going to do individually as agenda items for consideration. So in other words, we're going to pull those 5 items from the consent agenda, do them individually. Clerk, are you ready to take down motions and seconds on these? We're going to go through them maybe fairly quickly. We'll see. Our first item is award contract for Fire Station Number 1, bid package 8, landscaping. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Sparts and Alderman Sternig. Any comments, questions, discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next is contract for Fire Station Number 1, bid package number 10, site concrete and rigid pavement. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Schmidt and Alderman Sternig. Any comments, questions, discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next is Resolution Number 54, authorizing the acceptance and appropriation of Wisconsin Ground Emergency Medical Transportation Reimbursement Funds for fiscal year 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Zingsheim and Alderman Sparts. Any comments, questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next one is the Fire Administration EMS Incentive Policy.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderwoman Sizer. Any comments, questions, discussion on this one? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, item number 6. This is a new item tonight. Town of Barton Fire Contract. Chief, do you want to give us some comments on that?
Thank you. We have successfully renegotiated our contract, which expired this year for the town of Barton for fire and EMS protection. The last contract was a one-year contract, and it was combined fire and EMS protection contract. This year, we did separate the fire and EMS contracts into two separate contracts, and we did that to be in line with the rest of our EMS system, so everybody is under similar terms, exact terms, or under the same contract. With that said, the first thing I'll touch on is the EMS contract. The EMS contract is now a contract that'll run through December of 2029, 2030. There's an early out at 28 and 29, which is an option for them to seek to get out of the contract if innovation grant funding was not found to supplement the program. This is a similar agreement than what we have, or it is the same agreement what we have with all the other communities that we contract with EMS currently, and basically takes them out to that same timeline. With that, they pay the same fee for the service that everyone pays for the EMS, and it's a per capita fee. That, if you remember, that fee is set up basically, there's a cost. We set up what our expenses are to run the EMS program. We subtract anything we get for user fees from billing, things like that. For these first couple years, we did apply a portion, or 30% or so, of the SAFER grant to that, to reduce that, and whatever's left over is the deficit or the cost to run an EMS program that is not covered by user fees or other grant funding. That deficit is divided out equally on a per capita basis for all the residents throughout the districts involved. I can give you the 2026 pro-rational share for the town of Barton is $35,342. It's important to note that every year I readjust the budget based on the experience in the previous year and the assumptions for the upcoming year, and redo that budget and reset that fee every year. That's important to note because everybody that's in the contract with us also has an equal share in the risk, for price increases or inflation, things of that nature. So with that, I would, unless there's any questions on the EMS contract, I'll switch over to the fire contract. So with the fire contract, I did what I had done with the other contracts we had to split up in the past, and basically subtracted the cost of the EMS portion out from what we did in previous years for the fire, and whatever the remainder was considered the fire contract. The first year, we applied a 6% increase to the fire contract for that. Subsequent years, increase of 3.5%, or approximately 3.5%. I believe we used round numbers here, but it's approximately 3.5% to be a 3-year fire contract with the town of Barton.
That one's 3 years. You mentioned EMS is 3 plus 2 more. Is that fairly typical? That, I guess, why wouldn't this fire contract be 3 plus 2?
To be honest with you, last year was a 1-year contract. As is no secret, there's a lot of talk and speculation about the future of fire and EMS services in the contract. That's one of the reasons why the town of Barton chose to go with a 1-year contract this year. This year, we chose to go with the 3-year contract. I chose the 3 years because it coincided with the early out years, should they choose to change things at the 3 years. If not, I would anticipate as we get closer to the end of that, or to that 3-year point on the EMS contracts, I'll be having active discussions with anybody in that agreement to look at a follow-on agreement. And I've been pretty adamant in saying all along that the provision of fire and EMS services is not something that should be done on a year-to-year basis. And frankly, I'll be looking for probably a longer term than 5 years for the follow-on agreement if things continue to be as successful as they have been.
Great. Alderman Schmidt, go ahead.
Yeah. Can you explain for the benefit of everybody, I don't know who has a question on this, but on the EMS agreement, on page 3, it talks about the 3 years and the allotted amount there, and the third year is 67,576. Why the difference there?
I'm sorry, which contract?
The EMS,
EMS contract?
and page 3 on the bottom, and number 9.
Number 9.
Bottom of number 9. So there's 311,000 for 2026, 33, or 333,700 for 27, and then it drops down to 67,576.
That's the contribution of the SAFER grant towards that, and the SAFER grant changes every year dependent on the inflation of salaries, so the amount changed.
I think
Over-
that's the phase out of the SAFER grant.
Well, there was a phase in 25, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. And then in the 28, that real big drop there is the SAFER grant does not coincide with our fiscal year. So we got 1/4 of the SAFER grant in 25, we'll get the whole SAFER grant in 26, 27, and we got 3/4 of the grant in 25. We'll get the whole grant in 26, 27, and we'll only get 1/4 of the grant in 28. So that's where you see the big drop off in 28.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good question, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion on the Town of Barton fire contract.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderman Sparts. Any more comments, questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And I'll entertain a motion on the Town of Barton Emergency Medical Services Agreement.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderman Sparts. Any comments, questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Our next one, I think Jesse's going to take,
I got it.
I'll give it 10,000 foot.
Yeah, you're
all right. Wisconsin DOT request for utility release of rights for curb ramp projects. ID number 2707-08-70.
All right, before the common council this evening is a belt and suspenders type of recommendation here. So the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is looking to update curb ramps along connecting highways within the city of West Bend, being State Highway 33, State Highway 144, at approximately 52 different locations along each of those stretches. What the project will incur or take place is updated ADA standards as they're applied to the access ramps, and thus the improvements are needed at various intersections here within the city, and the DOT is looking to come through and do these. Ramp improvements. Part of those ramp improvements may include either widening them out and or adjusting the slope of the ramp, and what they need to do at each of the locations is get permission, whether it be making sure the work is done completely within the public right-of-way, or if there any temporary or permanent easement is required, but also to verify with the local municipality that work is being done over the top of underground utilities at certain locations. All of that being said, all of the easements, all of the property owner approvals, as well as our own utility sign-offs have been obtained by the Department of Transportation. However, one last piece of the puzzle is a formal action by the governing body for this utility release of rights, which is before the council this morning or this afternoon for consideration. So long and short of it is all of the lower level approvals are in place. This is that final piece of approvals that are needed for this project to take place this summer for these ramps to be updated throughout the city along those connecting highways.
Very good. I have one question. I don't know, Jesse, if you can answer it or not, but one of the highlighted purple areas is 18th and 33, for instance. And another one is 33 and 7th. Like, didn't we just do that? Weren't those ramps updated when we had those intersections under construction, or maybe not?
Possibly not. The DOT does take a unique approach to scoping out their various projects, and not every Wisconsin Department of Transportation project takes into account either nearby or overlapping projects. In my travels as an administrator, I've come across this where, yes, there is some overlap where it could have been done as part of one project. However, they were scoped out and engineered and designed as two separate and distinct projects. So long and short of it, I don't have a very good answer other than two silos of projects, and here we are.
Sure. Yeah, people ask, you know, like what we did last year, so there was so much disruption in the traffic flow and all that, and I anticipate we're gonna hear some of that this year. And this is, there are a lot of locations here, so what do we anticipate in regards to traffic flow disruptions? And how is that gonna look? And are we gonna have people, you know, ringing us up and complaining all the time? Because I got that last year.
In talking to Max, from an engineering standpoint, we understand this is a pull the Band-Aid type of project where they're going to come through and get these all knocked out over the course of one construction season. So it is going to be, cause some heartburn, here in the city. But that being said, it is a state DOT project, which we have little to no authority over, other than, if there are traffic hazards that are realized, our police department, our public works department can work with the DOT contractors to make sure we mitigate those to the best we possibly can. But at the end of the day, it is a state project.
And it was last year too, is it my understanding?
Yes, and we're at the mercy of
So
that.
It's not the city that's doing this. It's state DOT.
Correct. This is 100% a DOT project for these ADA accessibility ramps along their connecting highways here in the city. Yep.
This is just a naive question here. Is it conceivable that with some of the improvements we've done on 33, that they would look at the work that was just done last summer and say, oh, this is already in compliance, we don't have to break it down, build it up again? Or are they just going to break it down, build it up because of protocol?
If it is compliant with the updated ADA standards, they would not be replacing that. My understanding of the scope is to replace the ramps that need to be brought into compliance with the new ADA standards. I do not have specifics on those new standards, but it would only be those ramps that need those improvements.
I'm skimming through the, like, maps of stuff, and I note that the one at the intersection of Main Street and 33 says it was eliminated, so there may or may not be work there. They may have incorporated into the work there, because there wasn't any easements that were required for that one, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to me it seems to me up in my area, up in my district along Barton there was some of those done not too long ago, you know, couple 3 years ago or something like that. Maybe I'm not picking up on the right time frame here, but it was not too long ago.
And I will not throw shade at the Department of Transportation. It is their project. I am assuming that they have reviewed each of these locations and determined their level of compliance or non-compliance with the ADA standards, and that is why they've been identified for updates. That being said, I can't speak to the timing of past projects.
And these ramps, we're talking sidewalk, if you will, type ramps. We're not, so hopefully impact will be minimal, I hope.
There will be traffic impacts as you're looking at the curbs right at the corner, so some turn lanes may need to be cordoned off for short whiles, for short time frames, but also if there are median ramps where there's a stopping point in the middle of a large street. So there are going to be traffic impacts. I would not say otherwise. That being said, I do appreciate that the Department of Transportation is looking to come through and be efficient as they can be with this number of updates and looking to get it done in one construction season and to minimize the disruption to the extent they can.
I just, comment, so because this is a state DOT project, I imagine that the disruptions would normally be posted on state sites. Is there possibility to be, some of these things would be on our own city site as well? Because people wouldn't necessarily know to look, yeah.
Well, I'll be happy to work with the communications team to see what we can do about sharing the DOT's news with the community. I think you're spot on that many members of the community look to our informational feeds, whether it be social media or website, before state-level website or news releases. So yeah, we'll look to see what we can do with our communications team to try to bolster the message. Sure,
That'd be much appreciated. Yeah.
you bet.
Just to play devil's advocate, what if we don't approve these changes?
They'll go through condemnation and get it anyway? Yeah.
Eminent domain type stuff.
Yeah, well, and keep in mind, I mean, the other thing is, all this is, and this was like my concern in looking at it, is I don't love the way they word them, but all we're doing is saying the work that's done over top of our utilities does not interfere with our easement. So none of this is our property per se, it's all DOT right away. These are easements where somebody else, we have a utility easement underneath somebody else's property. And we're just saying, yes, to the extent that we have any rights, you're not interfering with our rights. And it's just a check the box type of thing for them. It's not like they absolutely need to acquire it the same way they would with like a temporary access easement.
Yeah, but we got to deal with the fallout.
But then at the end of the day, this is for the benefit of our community, okay, and the people that, utilize that. We have quite a few people wheeling their wheelchairs through, and this is a benefit to them. One thing would be cost. Is there a 80-20 or is this 100%?
This is completely a state project. This isn't a share.
No cost share by the city. Thank you.
I agree with you, Brett. This is a good thing. Not a bad thing at all. I don't want to be misunderstood, but just trying to understand the impact that it's going to have and what we're going to have to deal with.
I think I don't know if anybody in our community is watching this conversation right now. I think it's great that we are having these concerns. We just went through it, right, with these 3 intersections. And if this does cause quite a bit of disruption, people in our community will point the finger at this group of folks sitting right here. They'll say things like, well, why didn't you force them to do the work at night? Why didn't you force them to do the work within a certain time period or whatever? We have no control over this. This is a DOT project that we are just approving the fact that they're going to come and work over a right-of-way of city-owned property underneath. But other than that, we have zero control over who does this project, when they do the project, what time of day they do the project. Again, great conversation. I agree with all the concerns, and you're right, Brett. This is for the benefit of our citizens, and hopefully people can see that when it's completed and looks nice, so.
And just a comment, and being part of Public Works, the last 3 projects that were done this past year were basically in the street when you get to the stop sign. So there was a lot of traffic flow that had a lot of impact on. This more or less is going to be probably sidewalk impacts, not as much as traffic at all, because it's just going to be curbside. There may be a couple, as you said, mentioned in the middle of the intersection where you've got a crosswalk. But those 3 intersections that they already done, I think are already finished. They are already taken care of. They're all handicapped already. So I think it's going to be not as much of a traffic issue as it will be in some areas where it will be sidewalk traveling.
I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick and Alderman Schmidt. Any more comments, questions, discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I mean, I know when I was going to door, attempting to get this position, heard a lot of concern about the safety of some of our intersections, specifically along 33. I know Silverbrook and 33, there was a very tragic accident some while ago. So anything we can do to sort of make bring these into the best compliance for disability considerations and safety considerations, I think is usually a good idea, albeit an inconvenience at times, so.
Agree. All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll move on to our reports tonight. Plan Commission, January 6th.
I'm ready, kind of. All right, January 6th, we had Plan Commission meeting. We approved the site plan for a cold storage building and training tower at 2145 West Washington Street, which is the fire station, the new fire station. We also approved a site plan for 184,000 square foot industrial and office building located a half mile east of South River Road on the north and south sides of Forge Place by P&S Seasonings. We approved a preliminary plat of the Kingfisher Hollow, which is a residential and industrial subdivision, 600 feet east of South Main Street and south of West Progress Drive. This extends Kingfisher Drive, and that was by DAM Properties LLC, and they were approved. Concept plan was brought up and discussed for single-family ranch villas and townships, and this is for 73, just about 72.33 acres, which is the mixed residential, and that is the next-gen housing that is being proposed off of Resco Drive. So they came up with a concept plan, we looked at that and had our input on it, and they will be coming back with that. That was it.
Thank you. Tourism Commission, January 13th.
I can take it, that's fine. So we met on, what day was it, the 13th? Started out with the approval of the minutes, went over a financial report, which is in really good shape. We continue to see an increase. We're actually going to, in 2025 to 2026, surpass the budget we had set for our room night revenue, which is a good thing. We had a discussion regarding the convention center, just kind of reviewing that proposal, and basically where we netted out on that is while there is a need for it in our community, it's not an urgent need for our community, and it's something that we've asked community development to incorporate into their master plan, which is a process that will be starting here, I believe, in 2026. So it becomes a longer-term type of a concept, if you will. Then we went over the 2026 spring, summer grant reviews. We had 9 applicants for the $15,000 that we awarded this year, of which 6 organizations received spring, summer promotional grants, which were posted on the website and on our Facebook page. But real quickly, the Art and Chalk Fest received a $5,000 grant, Habitat for Humanity, German Fest $5,000, the West Bend Friends of Sculpture for a new event, Sculpture and Savor, $2,000, $1,000 for the Downtown West Bend Association, and MOA for the Art Walk Premiere and Auction, $1,000 for the Bend Theater for music on Main Block Party on May 28th, and $1,000 for the Friends of Park and Rec for Regner Park Summer Concert Series. Then we had staff reports. There was mention that Winter on Main was happening this weekend, which it did. And Discover Wisconsin is moving forward. We've completed the pledged funds, and they are setting up meetings to kick off that entire process. Our next meeting will be on May 12th.
Cool. Good stuff. Administrator Tice.
Absolutely. Pretty excited to report that later this week is my first meeting as a member of the Boys and Girls Club of Washington County Board of Directors. I'm pretty excited about that. But then I've also put my name in to serve a 3-year term as the City of West Bend representative on the EDWC Board of Directors. My application is pending executive committee approval, so we'll wait to see what happens with that. The nice part, really working to become more of an active part of the community as my role here as the administrator. Both of these boards serve really important roles here in West Bend, and the nice part is they either minimize or completely avoid conflicts with the working day. So great way to get actively involved within the community, but also to not take away from the day-to-day efforts here at City Hall. So really excited about those two upcoming opportunities, and that's my report for this evening.
Very good. Alderman reports, anything on, let's go on this side first. Anybody on this side tonight?
Nothing.
Oh,
Went down to Winterfest, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the sculptures are gonna probably be there for a while.
Sculpture should hopefully,
They should be melting.
last year they barely made it to Saturday morning.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Good. Yeah. How about over here? Go ahead.
Just note that it was important that they changed the name of the event from the Winter Warm-Up, which caused the issues last year.
Yeah.
Winterfest, so, nothing else from my perspective.
I was just going to, even though it was very cold and hard to be outside, just, commemorate that, the federal holiday that unfortunately we don't have off as a city, but a very important Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. And just a reminder of just how important some of the work that he did to secure voting rights for people, voting rights that up until recently have been in full effect, but just hoping for ongoing efforts to make sure everybody's voice is heard in public life.
Well said. I've got nothing really to report. I know the clerk's office put out a release that said we're not going to have a primary in February. I'm sure that's kind of a sigh of relief in the clerk's office. There was a potential of 4 elections this year, and so it's probably going to be 3, I would imagine, right? It will be 3, but it could have been 4. So anyway, no election in February. Our next election is April 7th. So anyway, I've got nothing else to report. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Be safe in the cold weather. I mean that. Be safe. Put on a jacket and have a backup pair of gloves and something to put on your ears just in case you get stuck somewhere. But
Especially if you're going on a bike ride.
or going on a bike ride. So have a great night, everybody. We're adjourned.